Hey there guys, what's going on? Today is the 26th of February. Sorry if my camera's playing up again. There's nothing I can do about that, you know. My computer's crashed twice already trying to make this video, so we're gonna have to make do with what we have here. So yeah, the 26th of February. This video has no really plot and plan. I'm just gonna talk about my experiences with this relapse and how I slipped down that slippery pole back into the very thing that I abstained from for 72 days. So yeah, over 2 weeks ago my streak came to an end. I relapsed. It's gone quick this past 2 weeks actually, you know. It's crazy how time flies by. Anyways, yeah, 2 weeks ago, and the total amount of times I have relapsed, this is bad, 20 plus, you know. It could be 23, something around that number, you know. I'm not gonna lie and beat around the bush. 23 damn times I relapsed in 2 weeks. That's terrible. What does that average at? Like, you know, that's probably one and a half a day or something average, you know. That's just a place where I didn't want to get to, you know. Like, initially having the relapse, I wasn't too down about it, you know. And then you know, happened twice. Didn't really beat myself up about that either, you know. 2 times, you know, it's no big deal. Then you get to 5 and you're like, what's going on here now? Then you can't help yourself. You get to 10, 15, 20, 3 times in a day, 2 times in a day, you know. It just pulls you straight back in, you know, where you've abstained for so long. And then you get a taste for that addiction, you know what I'm saying. You get a taste for that and it's just bam, back in that rut again. But you know, today I thought, you know what, I've had enough with that, you know. Like, I've maxed it out now, like, whatever. And I've got a day under my belt now. Day 1 under the belt. You know, it's obvious to see the contrasts between when I was on the streak and where I am now. You know, like, you just look at yourself in the mirror and you've lost it. You've lost the secret magic power, you know. You lost your secret weapon. That's how I should say it. You lost the secret weapon. You know, like, you had this secret weapon within you and no one knew what it was or how to obtain it. And now you've just fapped it all away. You know, it's all gone now, down the drain, down the pan. And it's just a waiting game now. You have to get back on that streak. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Oh, I'm at day 4 now. Should I just relapse and start again? You know, these are the problems we're facing now. Because when I was into my, you know, if you go back to on my previous videos, when I was into day 50, 40, 50 or 60, you know, it was just like a walk in the park. Like, I mentioned that I don't even think about fapping, you know. It's just normal not to now. And then, you know, obviously got into the 70s, day 72. There was a build up to that where I was actually doing things I shouldn't be doing. You know, out of just like, I sort of like felt like I plateaued, whatever how you say the word. And like, I believe I was going through some sort of flat line as well. You know, I only say flat line because of like the way I was feeling, like the depression and stuff. And I just sort of thought, you know what, screw this, relapse. And then, like, I have to say, it didn't really affect me in much of a negative way, apart from you sense the energy depletion. But other than that, I felt reinvigorated and energized and happier, you know. So this is why I wasn't really upset about the relapse. And I wasn't very guilty about it, and I suppose that's what led me on to bloody go on this 20 plus extravaganza. But you know, I'm at the point now where I think, you know what am I doing? Like, I'm just because once you screw up on that, everything else in your life sort of, you know, falls off the wagon as well. Like my eating, that's gone off the wagon. You know, I've ballooned up. I probably gained some fucking weight eating, because I noticed, like, when I was on this no fap journey, like deep into it, my appetite died down. You know, I wasn't eager to eat so much so often, whereas now that I've been, you know, relapsed 20 odd times, my appetite's gone mental. You know, I'm craving like biscuits and all sorts of junk food, and I'm gorging it all down, and I can't be satiated. It's like I need more and more and more and more. And see, I've always been like a greedy person like that with food, and I didn't realise it could have been linked to, you know, the fapping. You know, it makes sense. Like you've fapped loads of times, your body's craving them nutrients. However, you're turning to these unhealthy foods and snacks, and you're just gaining weight, you see. So I'll be interested to see when I build this streak back up, to see if it curbs my appetite again, you know, because that will make me realise another thing, another benefit to no fap, you know, because it seems like no fap is answering all the questions now. Oh, I'm so tired. Sorry about that. Yeah, anyways, you know, it's not the same when you've relapsed. Like, obviously, you know, if you know what it's like you look in the mirror, you don't look at yourself in the same way. Like, you just look at yourself like you're just some dirty, rough looking man, like a perv, you know. Whereas before, you sort of felt like there was like love there, you know. Like, obviously, like, when you're on no fap, your appearance, like, it's hard to explain. Like, you look in the mirror and you feel like 10 times better about yourself and the way you look than when you actually are fapping. Like, when you've, like, you know, relapsed 20 odd times in the space of 2 weeks, you know, you're gonna look in that mirror and think, fucking hell, I don't want to see my reflection right now. You look haggard, you know, your hair it just isn't how it was. Your skin becomes like, it loses its like glow and youthfulness. It just looks haggard, and your eyes are sunken in, and you just look tired, and you've lost your magic, you know. So you look at your body, you just look at a shape. You don't have that like energy, that like that sexual energy within you to think, yes, I'm a man, and like, I just want to eat some meat with my teeth and rip it to pieces. That's a bad fucking... Oh, you know what I'm saying, man. I'm tired. I'm just rambling on now. But yeah, day one, you know, what can we say? We look terrible. The diet and eating is just off the charts, you know, constantly eating garbage. The motivation to actually go out and do stuff has been diminished, you know, whereas before I was eager to get out there and even go for like a half an hour walk or something, and now the idea of going out there to do something is just like, nah, I'll leave it to tomorrow, you know. Going sleep is not as good as it was. You know, I've noticed I'm waking up in the morning feeling terrible, you know, feeling awful. Whereas before, I was just waking up naturally like, oh, normal, you know. Now it's just actually hard getting up in the morning. I feel terrible, you know, like back in the afternoons now as well. You know, I've been feeling the urge to have a nap, like feeling drained, like I should be in bed having a nap. Whereas when I got on the streak on the nofap, you know, that just disappeared. Like, I could go all day long. Whereas now it's back to like, you know, sort of like your body's been taxed, innit? And you need to eat, like, abstain, eat nutritious food again, recuperate yourself to get back to where you was. This is why I believe you feel rough, you need the naps. You have the motivation to do nothing because your body just wants to stay there and, you know, relax and recuperate. and you're just constantly eating and eating and eating. Your appetites come through because you need to get that nutrition back in to replenish. But then again, these sort of things we just tie down to normal life, don't we? Like, oh, I've got a sweet tooth, yeah, let me just eat all this, blah blah blah, and then you get fat. You know, I feel rough, oh yeah, I had a long day, oh, let me have a nap. We don't tie these things in with a lifestyle. You know, a lot of people, they suffer with symptoms, they don't realise their lifestyle is to blame. Like, if you're going to live a terrible lifestyle, eating junk and living terribly, and you have like side effects of this, you know, don't blame it to old age and, you know, like you've got like an illness or a disease. You know, it is the result of your lifestyle and the way you are living. You know, like, if you want to see a change in yourself, in the way you're feeling and looking, you've got to make a change to your lifestyle. You know, like, it's crazy, like, how one thing can just make you from one person to another person just by not doing one thing. Like, say if you cut out sugar, that could change your life. If you cut out, like, you know, like biscuits and stuff, that could change your life. I've been eating a lot of biscuits lately, little bread, you know, hence the weight gain down there in the stomach and that. But, you know, I realised in time my eating will get back on track. You know, I just the thing I need to focus on now is the streak. We're at day 1 now. You know, obviously you just gotta have that ruthless mindset. Just say no. Just avoid and say no. Avoid and say no. And eventually it'll become normal. It'll become normal for you to not be doing that stuff. But then you're going to be faced with your other problems. The other problems in your life are going to come to the surface because you're not going to have that escape. You're not going to have that drug that's always there to sedate you and please you and make life bearable and happy again. You know, this is why on the 70 days, 72, you know, things were getting tough. And obviously took the easy way out, didn't I? After tempting myself, obviously, like the previous week, and it just escalated into a relapse and a full-blown, you know, full-blown extravaganza, as I called it. 20 plus days. You know, that's terrible in my books. Almost feels like now I undid every benefit and progress I made in this 72 days, and now I feel like I'm starting from scratch. You know, like that may not fully be the case, but you know, I'm starting on day 1 with more experience, more like know-how and what to expect. So we'll see how these early stages are this time. You know, the first couple of weeks. Like this is the danger zone, as I like to call it. Day 1, you know, day 1 to 3. You just got to battle hard to make those days, you know, because it's like being on a diet and being surrounded by food, but they're in boxes, and you're just tempted to open them and look at them. But if you do, you may take a bite and damn, back to square one, and then you're just going to feel guilty and bad. When you get to like 20 plus relapses, that's when it gets tough, because you attempt to start the streak again and again, and you end up screwing up for whatever reason, and you think, wow, I'm going to stay like this now. I can't do it anymore. That's why I say it's a battle, you know. Like, for me, I had to rinse myself out and think, you know what, screw that, I don't need that. And now I've just got to stay strict, say no, and move forwards day by day. Before we know it, a week's in, 2 weeks in, then it's just a waiting game after that. Obviously, like, things may have sped up now for me since the last streak. Whereas last streak, you know, I was sort of new to it, counting the days, thinking what to expect, you know, that sort of jazz. And the toughness of it as well. Whereas in this streak I could be more experienced and content after a week, notice benefits after a week. So we're going to see now how this streak will compare to the previous streak. So this is day 1. Been quite a long video. Well, thank you if you watched this far on and I haven't bored you and you've clicked off. But I want to say thanks to all my subscribers. You know, it seems to have doubled in the past couple of weeks. It's crazy. Even the comments I've noticed are coming in thick and fast now. Like, I read every comment and I'll say thanks for the support. Obviously I'm not going to be able to reply to everyone's comment, but I do read all of them because I get notified by them. I just want to like wish you all the best on your streaks and your journey. And if you relapse, you know, don't beat yourself up about it, and try not to go over the top like I have. You know, like deep down it's not really worth it, you know. Like at the time it feels like it is, and when you're doing it, it feels like it is. But you know, you're better off not doing that. You know, better off just leaving it. Pointless. You know, I know life's hard and you get depressed and stuff, but this is not really the answer, is it really? But then there are times where you just think, fuck it, I'm just going to go down that route. But yeah, you know, things happen, but got to get back on that streak, day by day, week by week, month by month. And then before you know it, you're in like 70 days. Can you imagine that? Starting up to 3 months. I know people have done a lot better than that and a lot longer than that. But we're all different and we all have our own goals. You know. So yeah, thanks for all the comments and the support. And now I must live up to my name. The master of change, and change things up and get back living the life of no fap and semen retention. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Hopefully we can bang out the videos on a daily basis now, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, which I planned on doing before anyway, like if I ever relapsed. But obviously you ain't seen videos coming out lately because, you know, the relapses, and I'm not going to come and talk about that, you know. So day 1, tomorrow night I'll be hopefully chucking out day 2 video, seeing if there's any benefits so far, you know. So yeah guys, stay tuned. Thanks for watching.